Black power.
Black power.
Free the land.
Free the people.
By any and all means necessary. I'm General NY.
I'm General Wamanifu.
Coming in from the Miami base. This is Universal Underground Railroad News. So, at this point in time, I would like to discuss an issue I've been seeing, and it's a form of gentrification. Let me give you a little bit of history about Overtown, Miami. It's kind of like, thank God for segregation, excuse me, because of segregation, Overtown, Miami was thriving. Black-owned businesses, everybody came together. It was all love back during that time. And trust me, that was in the early 50s/60s. Wonderful. At that specific time, segregation was wonderful. Until a group of peoples decided that they wanted to expand Expressway. They wanted to expand downtown Miami, and they made Overtown Miami small. It shrunk over time because they wanted to enlarge downtown Miami. But at this point of time, Overtown is almost diminished. What I mean is that they done took Overtown. They done took Overtown for granted. Took Overtown for what it's worth. We have to understand that it used to be called, Colored Town. And that's a historic town in the state of Florida. We must understand that. And we must understand that the state of Florida do have a diverse set of colored peoples, including African Americans. So, we must join together and we must take our city back at once. And we must realize that we have more power in numbers. Hopefully we bring back the community of Overtown to its natural roots and back to its beginnings. Just like every other town. Let me tell you how we can do that. We can do that through unison. And I want to speak upon my other brothers and sisters, especially those of Haitian descent. I need you to realize that you would be an even stronger group, if we was to come together, join hands in unison, and make unstoppable choices in which it would determine the best of our lives, as well as the African Americans. We must join hands with our Haitian brothers and sisters so we can be even stronger, so we can make the best of our way of living. That goes for colored people of other ethnic backgrounds, peoples from North America, my Spanish brothers and sisters. Let's join hands and come together and make a difference. We can solve our problems at once and once and for all. And we must understand that. And we must take our city back. Right now we're facing a form of gentrification. That's also a form of warfare. The removal of a present set of peoples. We have to fight that. We cannot stand to let that happen. I would always speak upon my brothers and sisters because we're dealing with tragedy every day because of white supremacy. If we keep on with the greatness and we bring in existence our ancestors, we will receive power and we will make a very, very big difference. For the land, for the people, by any and all means necessary. I'm going to hand it over to General Wamanifu. Black power.
Black power. All my people of color, all our people of color, you are needed for this call. For if you want liberation and you're tired of all this stress and you talk about it every day, then let's do something about it. As the brethren was saying, we got peoples of color from all over the world here, especially from the Caribbeans, from Central America and South America. And you're all needed. You're people of color, black people. not Spanish people, not Creole people, not British people or French people. You are black people. People of carbon, which is in the science periodical table, as we know. But moving in fortitude, moving in direct, illustrious, and very indomitable fortitude. I want to speak upon our beautiful people of Haiti, who came out in the early 1800s to declare their independence after fighting against the French, the Spanish, and the British. Now remember, my beautiful people of Haiti, by the way, ça passe, you already know. Now moving in fortitude, indomitable fortitude. People of Haiti, remember in the early 1700s, in your history, where even maroons, moreno, Moor, brown, is also part of black, and these maroons were slaves who escaped from the slave plantations and lived in the mountains. As you know, Haiti is the name of big mountains, big hills is the name of Haiti, beautiful mountains. Now, these people called the Maroons, living in Haiti, helped in the revolution. That's why the flag is red and blue originally. And why is it red and blue originally? Because it took black people to give that independence. Even though it took the United States until 1862 to remember and recognize that, in 1801, we held high that printed copy of our independence. And we also affected Paris at the same time. Paris was being affected. Europe was being affected. A population of people that were as big as the black people in Philadelphia. Population of black people that gave the best and biggest portions of goods to the U.S. Now remember, Haiti people, remember that the United States, United Cow Steaks of America, profited off of all those goods and are still profiting off of all those goods. So this is why we have to join and continue, for those who have already joined, and economic warfare and all types of warfare that we need to move forward in, moving in indomitable, unsaleable fortitude, because they're still profiting off of the sugar crops, off of the coffee crops, off of the cotton crops. They're still profiting off of all that. And we know that Haiti profited some of the most, Haiti produced some of the most, if not the most, goods in the Western Hemisphere. And back to the revolution, Haiti was very, very strong. We had Toussaint Overture, and we had Boukman Dessalines, also known as Jean-Jacques Dessalines. But it was the people as well. Ashe to all those people. Ashe for all you beautiful ancestors and elders who still live, who were brought here during the times of revolution too in Haiti, came to the United States in the 1700s. And we're also here facing those atrocities. Even though they were called, some of them were so-called free, but a lot of them weren't really free. If we understand the politics on that. My point overall is, as the brethren was saying, that we need to unite. The information that was brought to you was for you to understand and know the truth. For the new generation of people of Haiti, we will bring the freedom that we need together. Remember, people of Haiti, that it was all shades of black that came through Even though there was a small percentage that turned, but remember it took that collective to do that. And remember the Maroons, who also helped in the revolution. This is Universal Underground Railroad News. Black Power.
Black power.